the West. Once upon a time, a cowboy riding on a horse and got to this weird dungeon, I would say. And so what happened? He went there. He was coming for a treasure called the Golden Revolver. Now, you see, the Golden Revolver is the most powerful weapon here in the Wild West. Although, it would not come with no consequences, as he would be a common target. He would have to keep it a secret. He locked in a weird goblin-like monster with a nice king forward, and said to him, "Back off or I shall shank you." The man pulled out his revolver and it left all the other goblin-like creatures running and screaming after they just saw their friend's face blow off. But then their boss said, everybody stop, kill him." So the man said, "Reinforcements!" And all of his two other friends came in with rifles and one by one they obliterated everything until he saw it, the golden compass. Now, his name was Rick. His other two friends, I shall remain unknown, mainly because I haven't made up a name for them. Rick walks towards the golden compass and says, "This is what I've been seeking for. Only the greatest cowboy shall hold this." But then his other friends all pulled out the revolver and pointed it at him and said, "I want it." They all grabbed out another revolver, and everyone had one revolver pointing towards each other. It went in a triangle. So for say there was one person right here, another one there, and another one there. So for say this person had a gun on that person and that person, but this person had a gun on that person and that person, but this person had a gun on him and him. So it became one of those standoffs. And the man said, "You're forgetting my class as the bandit class." And out of nowhere, smoke erupted from the floor. And the golden revolver was grabbed, shot, heard the screaming of his friends. And after the smoke died down, his friends were dead on the floor. He got back on his horse and left. But then he saw a train. Now this, of course, was his bandit headquarters. So he went there. Well, he hopped on in time with the horse. Sorry. So he walked in. Now, of course, he would keep it a secret. He had the most valuablest treasure in the West. But then, all around the train, it stopped. No matter how hard they tried to get it on, it wouldn't work. They checked everything, and everything was functioning just fine. But dark clouds got all around the train, and the dark mist with eyes, and a mouth with teeth replaced with fire. It was a huge 7 feet long mouth, 3 feet wide. And he said, "Give me the golden revolver, Rick. You have took it and you shall pay the price." "Who are you?" said Rick. You never heard the freaking stories?" said the man with fire for teeth. Yeah, I believe I have," said Rick. "You take form as you're deaf himself, and you take form as this mist to chase us. But you see, all I have to do for you to go away is put one bullet with this golden revolver in you." And ran away deafly and turned back to his human form with a scythe and a jacket with hollowed out face with a cowboy hat and the revolver that we now call the revolver of death. As Rick had to explain to everyone what happened, they all jumped up and said, "Give me it." And all Rick had to do was get them to back off. And he shot it, and fire, a mixture of fire and death, emerged, shredding through everyone. And Rick got on his horse and left. Rick looked at his map with the note, "I plan to be the best cowboy in existence and that will ever walk." So, Rick saw a city. He met a nice couple who allowed him to stay in his house. So, that's exactly what he did. Now, it was the next morning. He woke up, did his daily routine. He shouldn't be doing that in a place that's not his house. And he walked out, and there was someone who had a gun who was robbing the bank. Now, you see, everybody knows what happens when you shoot the golden revolver. They know what it does. Everyone knows how it looks. So he would be a fool to pull it out and shoot the robber with it. So, Rick, he's also a genius who uses strategy, traps, and the way around him. So, there was this staff. So he swooped forward, dodging free bullets, and yanked the stick, disarming him. Then grabbing the other stick and throwing it so hard it penetrates through the robber's heart. And Rick walked over to pull it out. And she said, "Would anyone else want to fight me?" And someone standed up and said, "Let's have a standoff in town." So everyone in the village sat there and watched the standoff. But Rick said, I have no gun. The other man said, then you're gonna die. But Rick decided to make the move. He grabbed out the golden revolver and shot the man, leaving the other townspeople in absolute utter shock. And they went, he has the golden revolver! And he thanks them for their helps and gets on their horse and leaves. But before that, some man with a rifle offers to come with him. And Rick says, yes. But if you betray me, there will be consequences. So the man came. Now, this man's an excellent rifleman, very good at sniping. That's his talent, sniping. So as they were walking, well, their horse was walking. But as their horse was walking, they saw something that Rick has never seen in years. Chapter 2, I Find a Tree. Rick looks at the tree and sees a tree with a pond with edible water, somehow edible. So Rick walks over and drinks some, but then something emerges. You should not drink from my pond. Rick said, oh, it's you, one of those powerful entities from like the Wild West or whatever. Yes, just listen to me. I'm a water monster who prefers stabbing my enemies with spears, and you shall pay the price of death unless you have the golden revolver, because that's my only weakness. Rick grabbed out the golden revolver and said, oh, you mean this? The monster fell. And before Rick could grab his spear, it emerged into water. But Rick jumped into water and grabbed it just in time before it went away. And he banged the spear and noticed that he could create water from nowhere with it. So, Rick puts it on his back, and then they move forward and backwards. But then, dark clouds start surrounding them, and a man with a cowboy hat, a sai, sandals, normal cowboy clothes except darker, and Death's face this time. Death chose to give himself an actual face for this form. Now, Death's face looked like a young man with green eyes and black hair. Of course he has to have black hair, guys. He's deaf. Hello, Rick. I want my revolver. You know what? Let's make this deal, buddy. I won't give you a revolver. But instead, Def, would you like to team up? What? No, you haven't gave me the revolver. Okay, then, said Rick. Well, goodbye, Def. Oh, no, you're not going to leave. And Rick started going 100 miles an hour on his horse. Might be a bit of an exaggeration. But Def was catching up. Now, Def, he wasn't just running. His feet got rid of. And then he started chasing him like a demonic ghost hovering in the sky, going at about the same speed. But Def could go way faster than that. Rick, come back. You know, Rick, you can't avoid Def forever. Come back, come back, come back! And all Rick did was turn around. And Def vanished. Chapter 3, A New Town. So, after 60 days, I'm sorry, 6 days, he discovered a town. Now, this town wasn't any ordinary town. Instead of one well, it had 5 wells and a river, which shocked Rick, because normally if you have a river, you wouldn't have a well in this place. So, Rick walked with his golden revolver in his pocket, and he turned to the man with the rifle and said, "You shall not say anything about the spear or the revolver I have. Is that understood?" Yes, said the man with the rifle. As they walked, they couldn't happen but notice a hostage situation. They had 2 kids and 1 adult tied down in a chair in front of the town, pointing guns at them. A group of 5 pointing guns, revolvers. 2 of them had revolvers, and the other 3 had rifles. What happened was they said, "You shall go. I want you guys to go to the mines and collect me money. I want you to collect me 50 pounds of gold." Before I get these people back. So what happened was everyone grabbed guns and pointed at it, and they said, "Die." No, the men said, "Oh yeah, if you're gonna kill us, you're gonna kill them." Which is, I bet, the whole reason why you're shooting us. No, we want to keep our gold and the kids, said another elderly woman who was like, I don't know, 900. But then something happened. The rifleman looked at Rick and said, "Hold on. Isn't that the internal necklace?" "Oh, it's solid now, you seem to notice," said Rick. "You only now see that I have the necklace that will allow me to be alive as long as it's on, and I won't age. But if I take it off, I'll be my same age. What? How old are you? Said the man in the rifle. With the rifle, I don't know why I said the rifle. With the man with the rifle. That's an interesting question, said Rick. But I shall not say. Chapter 4. Hostage situation will be handled with. So, Rick has his friends snipe one of the men. And then Rick walks up and bang, bang, bang his spear. And in a water spear, a circle appears around him. And then a shockwave happens and everybody falls. And he says, "Leave the children, as I have things you guys will never have." Okay, said the people. Drop the guns, said Rick. Okay. Please, just don't kill us. Chapter 5. A kid joins the 2-person group. So now you seem to fear, but you didn't fear when people grabbed guns. Well, dude, you have the magical items. I also may or may not have the main one. Which one is that? The golden revolver. What? He grabbed all the kids who were in that hostage situation. And one of them being specialized. Okay, I have to go.